love audience members like you that look deeper.
I like your questions, man.
Спасибо.
Ну давай прокатимся.
Готов? Ты уж точно готова.
Погнали!
Hello, Michelle. I'm very excited
Hi.
to see you.
How are you?
After watching this movie, I feel like the female characters there are more front, especially yours. They're more active and they define the plot. Is it correct? And what is your
Yeah,
role
beautiful.
in that?
Yeah, I think after 18 years, we deserved a little love, so I asked for it, you know, and everyone seemed incredibly open-minded to that. The studio was really open-minded to that, gave us a female writer. Justin Lin was really open to that, added new characters, you know, and Vin Diesel's always been supportive of a strong woman because he's always backed me up on everything since 20 years ago, so... Yeah, it was great. And I hope the audience really enjoys it. I mean, ultimately, you know, we thought we did that with the first ones, you know, like the first Fast and Furious was pretty heavy on the females, pretty balanced. You had the Dom Toretto, you had the Brian character, you had the Letty, and you had the Mia. And they were all very active characters in the action. Eventually that dwindled through the next few movies that passed on, and then eventually we start getting strength again and coming back. And then now we're here where it's balanced.
3, 2, 1, go! Cut! That looks like a direct hit.
By the way, I read about the first chapter, and is it true that Vin Diesel saw you in Girl Fight and said, I want this actress to be my girlfriend in my franchise? Is it true?
That is correct. And then I met him. I really liked the idea. I read the script, and here I am now.
Do you miss that in indie scene, independent movies?
I did for a while, and you know what? Steve McQueen. When I did that movie with Steve McQueen, that was for me. That was the melancholia of missing independent film, you know. And so I did that movie with Steve McQueen, and I felt like, all right, I went back and I did the real world kind of like, you know, thing, and it felt really, really good to be in that environment and to push myself in that way. But there's something about action movies that will always have a bigger place in my heart. And it's just the escapism of it, the fantasy of it. I really, really enjoy exploring that. Because you're playing more with archetypes than you are with real human suffering. And even though, you know, I do carry a lot of the emotional weight in the Fast and Furious movies, I still have that ability to escape into an action movie that doesn't end the way the real world does. You know, the real world always went, you know what I mean? And in these action movies, it's like, no, there's a sunset, and you walk off into that sunset, and I enjoy that. We need a little bit of that in our lives sometimes, you know? And I think that it's good to have that. If you look at the Oscar layout this year, you know, it's very depressing. It's like, guys, you know? And so for me, I really enjoy cartoons. I really enjoy action movies. I really enjoy sci-fi. I like the ability to escape because, you know, I don't know. I just think that it gets really rough otherwise.
If you watch movies with happy end, you program yourself subconsciously that you have hope, everything will end well, right?
Yeah. You know what? And it's really, I love that you're going there. It must be because you're like Russian. I love that. Just diving deep a little bit. But to be quite honest, I think that, you know, it's as simple as that. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think that having hope is a bad thing. I don't think that being faithful to optimism is a bad thing. And so I'm a very, very big advocate for cartoons and action movies that end well. Sorry. You know? I guess I won't be
great.
getting an Oscar anytime soon.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
You're a wonderful actress. I will
I
watch
like your
everything.
questions, man.
No matter how it ends, I will watch everything. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Брат против брата. Как это драматично. Но сможешь ли ты его убить?
Ты не дернешь ручник, дорогуша?
In this movie, I noticed some Christian Bible references from the very start. You speak to a child about God, and your rivalry with your brother resembles the rivalry between Cain and Abel. Am I the only one who sees it, or was it done on purpose?
Seriously? How many people come on your show and just say, seriously?
Oh, that's... yeah.
They must. I mean, seriously? First of all, because you asked that, it's a very good question. Yes, of course, there is a Cain and Abel narrative that you have to, that's implied in the relationship. Specifically, in the beginning, the scene that you're talking about, where Dom is talking to his son about God, that, I will tell you, came directly from my daughter, Pauline. When there was a night that I was putting her to sleep, and she said, "Daddy, do you know where God is?" And I said, "Where?" And she pointed to my heart, and she said, "In your heart." And so much of what you see in the movie is pulled from reality.
Oh, so Pauline deserves the credit.
I know. Where's the writer credit for Pauline?
And that scene where you're fighting against like a dozen or two enemies, and then you crumble like columns and chains on them, it resembles the story of Samson from the Old Testament, right?
You're on it. I love audience members like you that look deeper and can see biblical references, and that warms my heart when things like that are translated.
That's funny, Jacob. Because all I see is still the same scared little kid.
I read one of your older interviews, and you said that you like a Coppola approach to sequels. Do you remember that, and what does it imply?
Well, when they first even thought about doing a sequel, this was 2001 when the first one came out. But sequels up until that point were attempts for the studio to just create another movie, brand, and exploit the brand. But Coppola was creating sequels that were a continuation of story. And so I wasn't interested in doing just recreating the brand. I felt like we could continue the story and we could let our characters evolve. So that's what I meant. And when they came back to me and wanted to do that, I was very excited about continuing the evolution of these characters.
The 10th part will be divided in two, right?
The 10th final chapter will be two movies, yes.
And that will be the last two movies of the franchise.
Of this era, yeah.
What are you feeling about that?
How do I feel? I feel it's bittersweet because it's been such a wonderful part of my life. And at the same time, our audience has been so profoundly supportive and loyal that for years we had envisioned that this mythology, this era of the mythology, would end at 10. And I feel, in my heart, it's the way to respect the franchise.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the
pleasure.
wonderful movie you made once again.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot. Gracias. Thank you. Spasibo.